Okay, welcome. I'm reading again from Caitanya Mahakavyam by Kavi Karnapur. These are very nice pastimes of the Lord. It's chapter 7. We have titles. Hearing these words, the devotees took Nityananda's foot water on their bowed heads. The devotees who took the Lord's feet as their life always followed his orders. Merciful to all people of the world, Mahaprabhu gave happiness by his words. His coming to perform pastimes, his sweet glance filled with tender mercy, and his very sweet smile. Constantly gazing upon the Supreme Lord performing pastimes, the Devatas in the sky, along with their wives, overflowing with pleasure, spent their days and nights in joy. Haridas, the Supreme Person who cherished Gauranga's feet, called the Lord came wearing ankle belt on his attractive feet and danced in front of the Lord. That means that the Lord called Haridas. The great Kamalaksha, Advaita, again came, and seeing the soft lotus feet of the Lord, his mind filled with bliss, he became overjoyed, giving happiness to the universe. The Lord worshipped Kamalaksha with pure foot water, durva, rice, flowers, and sandalwood, and then gave him food. With fear and respect, Kamalaksha accepted the Mahaprasad in joy, and with the Lord danced intensely in an ocean of happiness and sweet kirtan. One miserable beggar came with his son, and seeing the extraordinary actions of Gauranga's dancing, fainted. After a long time, the beggar stood up and said, "What have I seen?" Then in joy he sang with the devotees an attractive song. The beggar's body expanded double in size as his hair stood on end because of his happiness. His body was completely washed in his tears, and he became submerged in an ocean of bliss. Excuse me. One time, the moon among Brahmins, known as Narada on earth, Srivas, completing rites for his forefathers, began reciting 1,000 names using many verses. Hearing from his own house the name of Nrsimha, Mahaprabhu assumed the mood of Nrsimha and came to Srivas' house, shining with unbearable radiance. Holding in his hands a great club, he ran on the path, making the earth tremble by the great pounding of his lotus feet. Seeing him in this state on the road, running with great speed, people became frightened and quickly ran here and there. Seeing the people running away, he recovered and gave up the huge club. He slowly went to Shiva's house. Arriving there, on observing the people fleeing, with tender mind, the Lord said, "Did I commit a great offense to these people?" His devotee said, "Lord, you cannot commit an offense, since you destroy all offenses. Saying it is offense is merely your mercy. That is the truth." One day a great singer came before the Lord, the ocean of mercy, and sang a song about Shiva in great happiness for the Lord, the abode of mercy. Hearing the skillful song with clever verses, the Lord became joyful, and mounting in the shining shoulders of the singer, he danced like Shiva. With eyes rolling in intoxication, with hair standing on end, and shining attractively, the ocean of mercy mounted the singer's shoulders and danced like Shiva. Shivas, known as Narada on earth, began to recite verses glorifying Shiva in a sweet voice. Mukunda, the physician, sang verses there with majesty. Then, getting up off the shoulders of the singer, the Lord quickly sat on the excellent seat, giving joy to his devotees constantly, as the moon gives joy to the night lotus. One day, after dancing was finished, one excellent wife of a Brahmin approached the Lord and, falling on the ground, took the dust of his lotus feet. Seeing her do that, he experienced great sorrow, became very disturbed, and quickly leaving, threw himself in the Ganga. Strong Nityananda, best of the Avadhuts, seeing the Lord in this state, became agitated and with great energy quickly pulled Gauranga from the water using his huge arms. Haridas and other followers quickly gathered in great distress. They surrounded his pitiful figure in fear and with choked voice wept. The merciful Lord then went to Murari Gupta's house with the devotees. And then he went to a Brahmin's house and spent the night there. And another day, in the early morning, the Lord crossed the Ganga with the devotees and came to the northern bank. He rested there for a moment with his heart agitated. In great fear, the devotees constantly tried to calm him in a gentle way. Joyfully, they brought him to a house. He was under the control of the mood of the devotees. Gaurachandra came to Shiva's house again and spoke seriously while all listened. If I give up my mother and go somewhere, all people will say that I have done something contrary to Dharma. Murari Gupta, hearing these words, drenched in nectar, said, no one will say this about you, since your lotus feet give prema. The ocean of mercy, hearing these words, became joyful, and in great happiness embraced him. Murari's hair stood on end, and with joyful mind he recited one verse in humility. Kwaham daridra papiyan nityadi. Bhagavatam 1081:16. Kwaham daridra papiyam kwa Krishna Shrinaiketana Brahma Bandhur Yati Smaham Bahubhyam Pariram Buddha. Who am I, a sinful, poor friend of a Brahmin, and who is Krishna, the Supreme Lord, full of 6 opulences? Nevertheless, he has embraced me with his 2 arms. 1081:16. Hearing these words, the Lord manifested great power and shone like 1,000 suns as he sat on an attractive seat while radiating great effulgence. He said, you know that my body is most attractive, composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. There is nothing other than this on earth. Hearing the Lord's words, the devotees, headed by Srivas, became joyful. Their hair stood on end completely. They were bathed in rivers of tears. They simply stood there. Srivas, who took shelter of his lotus feet after washing all Gauranga's limbs with his tears of love, bathed them again with clear Ganga water. Srivas bathed the limbs of Gauranga with pots of Ganga water, while releasing water from his lotus eyes onto his limbs because of his prema. Seeing the happiness of devotees agitated with prema, taking shelter of Gauranga's prema, loudly performed kirtan and danced with crazed hearts. On another day, the Lord, endowed with remarkable pastimes, whom Brahma and Shiva contemplate, distributed teachings about bhakti along with his devotees. In this way, he cleansed the universe completely of despicable jnana and cleansed the Lord's temple with a broom. He became well known in the world for this eternally. Chapter 8. One day, some person saw the Supreme Lord coming and offered respects with affection. He spoke politely with sweet words. Everyone says that you are the Supreme Lord, Lord of Lords, with a body of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Will you not deliver me? O Lord of all beings, O complete being, O ocean of mercy, trembling in my heart, mercifully deliver me from this most despised leprosy. Hearing his words, beautiful Mahaprabhu, with moon-like face, his eyes red with anger, with an apparent grimace, spoke, "O wicked, sinful man, you show hatred to my devotees. If I do not save you, it is that I do not save anyone else. Since you showed hatred to Shivas all the time, you will suffer from leprosy in every birth. In this body, one cannot see the prana, but know that the devotees are my prana externalized. If in any way one offends the devotees who are dear to me, he will fall into hell in every birth. Those who respect the devotees and follow their orders will cross the terrible ocean of samsara." Saying this, Mahaprabhu went to Shiva's house as the Lord, who has devotion to his devotee, enjoyed time with him. One time, while they were dancing, a Brahmin came to see beautiful Gauranga, who was stopped by the doorkeeper and went away. Another day, full of anger, he saw the Lord of the universe on the bank of the Ganga. His face was twisted and his eyes were red with anger. The Brahmin broke his upavita, his Brahmin thread, and cursing the Lord said, "I came to see you once while you were dancing. I was prevented from entering by the guard, and because I became sad, I now curse you that your material life will be destroyed." Hearing this, the Lord was pleased in his mind. In joy, he thought, "The curse of the angry Brahmin is a blessing to me. If one hears the story of this Brahmin's curse, one will be free from curses of Brahmanas. Intelligent people should hear this story with faith." So you just heard it, everybody? We all heard it. So we're protected. Mercy. On another day, like a playful person's arising from sleep, the sun arrived on the horizon, opening the closed lotus with his eyes. Gaurachandra also, having many qualified Brahmins recite, shone like the full moon. For a moment he became full of disturbance and stumbled about with his whole body. With his sweet face he said, "Give me honey, give me honey." This action of the Supreme Lord was most astonishing. The golden mountain of Gauranga became like a silver mountain. With a plow in his hand, he wore blue cloth and was decorated with many ornaments. He rolled his eyes and acted with the intoxication of liquor. Seeing the Lord, who had assumed the mood of the son of Rohini, for a moment everyone became blissful. In great joy, Mahaprabhu then went to Marai Gupta's house with devotees who performed kirtan. Saying the sweet words, "Give me honey," holding a water pot in his hand, he drank the water in plenty. With eyes rolling from intoxication, the beautiful Lord, who gives happiness, making the house white with his white rays, began dancing. The person who is happy with the words, "I am not Krishna," should now bring honey and offer it to me. Saying this, the Lord pushed a Brahmin with one hand. That person, stronger than a wrestler, fell far away. Having assumed Balaram's mood in the morning, the lotus-eyed Lord recovered in the evening and took a bath. And another day, shining with intolerable radiance, the Lord, with his hair scattered, fainted. He was pleasing in his form of Balaram, walking like an intoxicated elephant. He was as regal as an intoxicated lion. His eyes rolled with intoxication. His cheeks shone and his body shone like a million suns. Seeing this form endowed with agitated heart, The devotee spoke, "O Lord, what is this? Is it a possession? Is it a show of your greatness? What is the cause? Please tell us. You are the Lord, the creator of all things." Attractive with his pastimes as Balaram, his eyes rolling with intoxication, the Lord spoke with a broken voice words of beauty. "I have seen the person with a plow in his hand, wearing blue cloth. He is beautiful like a silver mountain. He is amazing for persons like me in this world." Chandrasekhar, the best of acharyas, said to him, "Where does this Lord, best of the strong, whom you saw, stay?" As he said this, Lord Gaurasundar assumed the form of Balaram. Assuming Balaram's mood, the Lord, beautiful as a million moons, danced with his overjoyed devotees. The devotees easily considered the happiness of Swarga insignificant in describing with words, drenched in nectar, the dancing of the Lord. During the day, the Supreme Lord danced with his devotees who bathed in a lake of sweet kirtan. In the afternoon, when the Lord danced, the wind worshipped all directions completely with the fragrance of musk. Smelling that strong fragrance of musk, the bees suddenly covered the sky like a cloud. The great Brahman named Sri Ram saw many beautiful, greatly effulgent beings come from the sky. They were decorated with shining ornaments and anointed with heavenly sandalwood. They wore heavenly garlands and had heavenly forms and qualities. They were attractive, with one earring in each lotus ear and heads furnished with silk turbans. They had joyful minds. When others learned in the Vedas heard this from Sri Ram, they danced and sang spontaneously with enthusiasm, performing kirtan of the Lord's name. A great Brahmin named Vanamali came there and saw the plow, huge like a mountain made of gold. Seeing this, he was amazed. He was overcome with torrent of tears. His hair stood on end and he could not remember his body. The beautiful Gauranga, attractive with his manifestation of Balaram, danced with his devotees who performed kirtan. In the sky, all the Devata, headed by Indra and Brahma, showered flowers and offered respects with bowed shoulders. As the beautiful Lord danced, the night came to an end. The moon gradually kissed the western mountain. At this time, did the young girl personifying the eastern direction become attracted to see the dancing of the Lord by turning red. The gentle, fragrant breeze, embraced by the moonlight, shaking the hot lotuses, worshipped the lotus feet of Gauranga. The Lord of Universe, with his devotees, approached the Ganga and shone like Meru with other mountains. The beautiful golden mountains, submerging himself in the Ganga, then played in the water with the devotees by splashing water with his hands. After finishing various types of play, he went to his house just as the moon rises on the eastern horizon. Smiling sweetly, the Lord said to Srivas, "Quickly bring my flute. Where is it? I don't see it." Smiling, the best of Brahmins said, "The gopis have hidden the flute somewhere." Constantly remembering the Vrindavan pastimes, the ocean of mercy, submerged in great bliss, remained silent for some time. Then, completely absorbed, with hair standing on end, Mahaprabhu spoke constantly to Srivas in a loud voice, "Tell me, tell me." The Brahmin Srivas then described all the Vrindavan pastimes and pastimes in the Jamuna. You could not be satisfied with the good fortune which existed previously when you performed pastimes with the young gopis in Vrindavan in deep prema. O Lord, if it were not so, how could the joy appear always newer and newer? Previously, like the incarnation of the art of love who produces joyful rasa, you entered incomparable Vrindavan, most dear to you, endowed with many bowers, covered with attractive bees, and performed pastimes. Hearing this, the Lord spoke sweetly, roaring like an intoxicated lion, "Speak more." Then the best of the Brahmins, by his mercy, related with clarity all the Lord's pastimes. That's the end of chapter 8. I'm going to take a short break. Thank you for whoever's listening, and we'll try to arrange it. I don't know what's happening because nobody's tuning in on the